column-shaped foot of their anemone, hidden behind the poisonous tentacles. Both male and the eggs, they fan fresh water on them. The eyes of the babies are already clearly visible. The clowns are very protective of their eggs. It's the two of them to protect their offspring, and only in conjunction with the anemone. Everybody in the reef has to take special care of their young. If they don't, it means their species will simply die out. So it's not something that gives it their best effort. This triggerfish has hidden its offspring in a small hollow in the sandy ocean floor and constantly protect this open. On occasion, they blow and fan the eggs, but mostly they keep an eye out for predators. This means one of the sea urchins is wandering straight towards the nest. The eggs to be protected at all. The triggerfish seems to consider the alternatives. But then it blows and then rams the sea urchin. Again and again until it breaks. The sea urchin's guts spill out into the open. A few more hits for good measure. The danger has been averted. Everything else is easy. Two little damsel fishes cling to a coral branch, a pretty and obvious pair. They appear to have something important to do. And there it is. The male has been laying eggs and glued them to. Over and again, both of them sweep past the eggs to keep them clean. Two very busy parents in the middle of town. Not far from them, the same kind of dam, but this one is feeding on the eggs, not tending to them. This fish's priority is that its partner is gone. It's possible to bring the eggs through by itself, so it feeds on its own eggs to at least recycle the new. There are many different strategies to give one's offspring a good start. Some are surprisingly easy. The mass mating of the black sea breams. Males are so generous with their sperm that often a cloud of it will end the entire wedding party. Countless and constantly in motion would have a hard time in this schooling behavior. The fish's instincts cause the mass mate in order to ensure the survival of their species. Cardinal fishes have their own clever means of childbearing. It's not time yet. The couple are still flirting and courting with each other, going around and around. Leave them to it and take all not quite as gentle with each other. Monkfishes live in groups, and their nests are very close to one another. As a result, all the fishes are alerted to a predator nearing their nests. hermit crabs of the monkfishes, so they're getting nervous. The hermit crab is still and currently busy with something else. The hermit is its tower of protection. The monkfishes is wearing Now everyone attacks in order to bowl the ghosts. They're clearly telling this hermit crab to take a hike, but they should have stayed with their offspring because there's new danger approaching. A gaggle of rainbow wrasses takes advantage of this unique opportunity and ravages the monkfish nests. The predators are quick, brutal, and in the majority. Most of the monkfish eggs will be devoured. An attack of this kind would never happen to the cardinal fishes because they are mouth brooders and don't have to watch over a nest that's out in the open. The males carry the eggs in their mouths, up to 20,000 of them. A mobile nursery. They're safe here in their father's mouth, unless, of course, he gets eaten. During the night, when it's dark, the danger is greatest. These underwater cities have a very active nightlife with special attractions. Basket starfishes come out of the current. It's a night star. With their arms full of tiny little hooks, they filter plankton feed. A very elegant feather. It's on the move to find a better spot to filter plankton. This Spanish dancer is even more graceful and elegant than the brittle stars, a type of nudibranch. The giant pufferfish is relaxed and spends the night dozing off on the sandy bottom. Others prefer the safety quiet bedroom, urchinfish. Everybody settles in for the night as comfortably as possible. The parrotfish tucks itself away in its mucus cocoon for protection against predators. Everybody's sleeping arrangements are different. The poor triggerfish has to stand guard by its nest all night long. There's no time to rest. Some of the predators are quite... A cone snail has spotted a small fish. The snail is fast, and the prey disappears in the blink of... The night is still full of danger. Lionfishes pose danger to the cardinal fishes. Lionfishes suck in their prey. Even if they choke on it. They're waiting for their chance. This poor cardinal is sideways in the lionfish's mouth, eggs and all. Lionfishes aren't the most elegant predators, with all their attachments and frayed fins. But this is all part of their camouflage. They're harder to see and blend into the background. Outside the reef, the lionfishes hunt as a school. They drive their prey towards one another with their fanned-out fins. They prefer to attack from above, cornering their prey. This is not a different location, just different light. These special blue lights totally change the appearance of the reef. Now we can see that the coral polyps are bright red, and they clearly stand out from their environment. A new and fascinating perspective on the communication of many ocean inhabitants. And suddenly an eruption of sorts. It looks like smoke, but in reality it's a type of reproduction. A carp ejecting its sperm. In the blue light, it looks like a dramatic eruption. A hermit crab as a magic lantern. The blue light brings out these colors. An entire group of lionfishes on a food foray. The animals don't seem to know any fear. It seems that they're well aware of the poison they carry in their back spines. They even use the light of our dive torches to their advantage. There's no nightly rest to be had here. First daylight, new life comes into the reef city. They all seem to start going again, ponderously with armored fins. As pedestrians, and as light and quiet as possible. Mother and daughter, elegant and synchronous. Some have 10 legs. This spider crab runs straight into a brittle star gathering. A giant smash-up in the early morning. Wildly flopping around, everybody tries to get away. As in every city, there are also shopping opportunities here. This moray eel knows her shops well. She rushes to her favorite store every morning. The same with this blue-spotted ray, but they haven't opened yet. It leans on one fin as if to say, similar problems in a branch further up. These are also waiting to be tested. Here they come, a little late this morning. The small, cleaner wrasses are starting to open their shop and are hungry to rid their customers of parasites. This ray is also being served. It likes to have its gills cleaned. This is a barter business. One side gets cleaned, the other fed. A very fair deal. Clownfishes seem to be excluded from this business because they can't leave their anemone. In their case, the cleaner fishes make house calls. This snake eel is engaged, and the cleaner shrimps are also making house calls for him. Finally, it's the moray's turn. It has a lot of nutritious freeloaders on its skin and in its gills. All of a sudden, undercleaners leave. Why? This Titan triggerfish is no better off. The treatment has stopped before he was finished. The cleaner fishes have new customers, have never come to see them before, and they're now being preferred over old customers. The point is that these new clients will like the service here so much that they will come back again. The regular customers have to be patient and wait until the new clients are finished. Cleaner fishes operate solely according to economic rules. This guy has also come for the first time and quite enjoys their service. Too much a good thing though. This small black spotted to look around and is not asking for a cleaning at this time. It swims away quickly and it's time to go back to the regular customers before they get impatient and leave for good. Digging deep where the gift. One last time through the mouth, and it's as good as new, and the teeth's clean. Now this male moray can start looking for a suitable female. She is clearly not interested in male visitors. This next dugout also does not look encouraging. These two have already found each other. A strange pair with a triggerfish as roommate. They's fine. It's difficult to cut in as a stranger. It would also be well advised to stay away from this giant triggerfish. This, on the other hand, might be a different situation. It's important to be patient. This female moray does not seem to be too reluctant. She's showing her teeth, which is not a sign of aggression, quite the opposite. She finally agrees to a date. The two of them are getting to know each other. Moray eels are very gentle with their mates. And they're good for another surprise, as partners of a phenomenal hunting party. These types of hunting find each other first in this big city. The right place for the moray and her partner. The morays cooperate with the groupers. It's not so far-fetched. The grouper hunts in the open, the reef. The moray is able to get in between cracks and crevices that the grouper can't get to Together, they're a strong team. A grouper that's trying to convince this moray to hunt with him. The grouper signals this to the moray by rocking back and forth and shaking for all it's worth. All for nothing. This moray doesn't understand and stays in its cave. Next try. Maybe the moray will swim with him. Again, no luck. Finally, this moray seems to understand the grouper and is hungry. The grouper tilts its head and the moray accepts his invitation. Together they swim through the reef. The moray prefers to swim between the dark alleyways, and the grouper decides it's safer to stay on the main streets around the reef. This is not the right place. The grouper expected to find scared prey here. The moray takes a break and waits. It's not going to happen this way. Again, another invitation to go. They continue through the reef to another coral head. Also nothing for them here either. The moray is getting ambitious as well now and initiates a hunt on her own. She might be better at finding hunting spots. They're successful in this next coral. Everything happens very quickly. The fishes are panicked, and both hunters are able to profit from that. Offers living space for millions. Many hideouts and crevices provide protection for everybody. Castle. While some escape between sharp corals, others curl up in a ball. Octopuses don't have and are therefore able to change shape. Their homes are usually very tight and space-saving. They like to live a bit further apart from theirs because they're not necessarily always friends with one another. It might be best to put up a wall of stones between them. The ocean offers many hideouts, which is synonymous with survival for many ocean inhabitants. They can also be hideouts that nature never intended to be there, such as this giant wreck, 240 feet deep. A research submarine on its way into deep comes across a sunken freighter. An artificial world with countless nooks and crevices to offer protection and a home for the ocean inhabitants. It has long been overgrown with all kinds of sea life. The side of the hull has become a living wall of corals and sponges. Sunfish, with their odd form of movement, patrol this area. They're looking for jelly. In steerage, where the current is strongest, filter feeders have found a new home, such as these fan corals. They feed on the tiny plankton particles, a unit that has grown together made of technical man-made structures. Steel anchor has grown a second skin made of living beings. It offers these delicate creatures to grow on. They have all made a comfortable home in this sunken world. Not even the lights up disturb any of the wrecking. New life has been created out of the tragedy of this sunken ship, the ingenious, life-renewing cycle of nature. The morays are sharing a home. They seem to be exceptionally friendly towards one another, even with this conger eel as their neighbour. And the octopus remains unharmed by the morays. A unique environment made of steel that offers many different opportunities for ocean inhabitants to use it. Even this fishing net. The original destination a bit deeper, a picturesque underwater city of ancient amphora architecture. An antique merchant vessel sank here. Only the clay containers, once filled with Greek wine, are still visible. Now they offer home and protection to many ocean inhabitants. Similar to the reef, hiding places are essential for staying alive down here. The amphorae have a very special shape. They taper towards the bottom, so it could be stored sitting upright in a layer of sand in the hull of the ship. The amphorae and their precious contents were safe during transport. Spiny lobsters welcome these types of caves. Conger eels also feel safe in this mess of amphorae and shards of clay, as if it was made from their slender, long bodies. The amphorae on the ocean floor provides countless opportunities to observe, disappear, and this city seems to be very calm and orderly, even when the conger eel swims above everybody's abode. Nobody panics, as they only have to withdraw slowly into their homes and are safe. The same goes for this forkbeard. The conger eel's only chance to make prey down here is to hide himself and ambush somebody. Also don't have much luck feeding here, for the same reasons as the conger eel. On the other side of the globe, the Spencer Gulf in southern Australia. Every of giant cuttlefishes meet up to mate. The rocky seabed offers great holes and caves to hide the eggs. The females are smaller than males and seem to be a bit shy, keeping their arms tucked tightly together. The males on the other hand to impress the females, but also other males, potential rivals. When they go out of ink, much success. Escape in reverse. Only the strongest of them have a chance with the females. He's a winner and courts his female by changing his color to interesting stripes. She has agreed with him, and they hug tightly. He deposits his sperm package into her opening. Immediately afterwards, she withdraws into one of the caves in order to avoid courtship from other males. A clear signal. The male is protecting his female from other rivals. But there's always the unexpected. A so-called sneaker male tries to cut in. This male is much smaller and pretends to be another male, but acts like one, very demure and shy. Seems to be fine in the den. He's busy chasing away other rivals from this new supposed female. Especially now that there are two females on section. It can't hurt. The two supposed females on the bottom below him are getting closer to each other. They're male. Are getting closer to each other. They're male. They mate in secret, under the protection of the... As soon as the sneaker male is found out, it gets dangerous for him. But he has achieved what he made. The beatings are nothing compared to his success. Intelligent strategies and tricks are essential for survival underwater and part of everyday life. On a sandbank close to the Bahama Islands has great attraction for these lemon sharks. They come... This sandy... The metal mirror stands upright on the seabed. The animals that swim to have strong nerves. Things the shifted or underneath it. The scientists expected a bit more. Lose all interest in the mirror. Some sharks even head to rest. The only one by this behavior are the remoras that like to keep moving. They let the shark and see if they can't hitch a ride with a more active individual. This one isn't a good choice either, so they continue to yet another one. All of a sudden, something happens to the mirror, and the peaceful afternoon... The rope that the mirror is attached to loosens and the mirror falls over. They smell. All of a sudden, none of the scientists quickly... It's time for the divers to leave. Communicate inhabitants can sign them. Endless out into the endless open ocean. Every neighborhood has a chief. The entire street belongs to this guy. No trespassing, okay? A typical large city with all the noise and ruckus. Even this little porcupine fish moves around with its swim bladder. Two small harlequin shrimp are. If someone else shows up, he will catch hell. Another harlequin shrimp, busy pulling a bite out of a sea star. Moray eels in disagreement. A scorpion fish shuffles across the ocean floor. Everything and everybody makes a lot of noise. A boxer crab threatens everybody that comes by. 2 poisonous anemones in its claws. At least the anemone reef looks peaceful. Or does it? The clownfishes are having a huge squabble. We can hardly see this fish, but he's easy to hear something. It's a ray that's getting away. A dispute amongst the members of the squid family. Who's stronger, and especially who is louder? Two Walkman fish are noisily trying to woo a female. Noise everywhere, especially when a large structure is being torn down. Everybody lives in their own way in this noisy. Some hover above it all, but others are more down to earth and literally live in the coral sand. These goat fishes, for example,